we're not just seeing her, but we're seeing all future generations. Bat Mitzvah means a daughter, a girl, who becomes 12 years old, that she is obligated to fulfill the mitzvah. What is a mitzvah? A mitzvah has two different translations. In Hebrew, a mitzvah means commandments, as there are 613 commandments in the Torah. Mitzvah also means a good deed. To do a kindness, that is a mitzvah. It's a good deed, because it is the greatest commandment is to do good. So when you do something good, it is a mitzvah. It's a kindness. When a girl becomes 12 years old, she becomes responsible and obligated to fulfill the commandments, which means at 12 years old, a young girl walks through the rite of passage from childhood to adulthood. That in Jewish law, when a young girl becomes 12 years old, she is recognized as an adult. She's respected as an adult, and she's given the responsibilities as an adult. So what happens at a bat mitzvah for a girl? The moment the girl becomes 12 years old, she's no longer a child, she's an adult. When she wakes up on her 12th birthday, her soul reveals itself in its full strength and power to energize her. Because a woman in Jewish law is far greater status than a man. A woman in Jewish law is referred to as akeret habayis, the foundation of the house. In the words of the Kabbalah, Bina Yetera Nitna Liisha. God has given greater wisdom to the woman. In Jewish law, Judaism can only be transmitted from generation to generation through the mother. It is the mother who determines and decides the future of Judaism, not the father. It is through the mother. This is why Jewish women have a tremendous amount of responsibility, opportunity, and blessings from God, because it is the Jewish woman who carries on Judaism. So when a daughter is born, it brings such a great joy to the family, because when this daughter is born, you know that she is the one who has been given the gift to carry on the religion from one generation to the next. She will determine the future offsprings that will be naturally Jewish because of her. And that is a powerful gift that God gives to the Jewish woman. This is why in Judaism, the Jewish woman is referred to as not only the foundation of the house, but the queen of the house. They are respected, they are honored, they are literally worshipped, because it is them that determines not just the future of Judaism, but also the spirit of the house. When the woman of the house is committed to a certain spirit in the house, in the whole house, it reflects it. It's no secret that the woman determines the spirit of the house. That's why she's referred to as akeret habayis, the foundation of the house. When a girl is already 3 years old, she's introduced to the concept of lighting Shabbat candles. That every Friday before sunset, she lights candles with her mother. And the concept of lighting candles Friday night is to be able to bring light and warmth into the home. As the beautiful day of Sabbath comes upon the world every week, as soon as the mother and the daughter lights the Shabbat candles, peace, serenity, and holiness dominates the home. And it is only the woman who's obligated to light the candles. It is her personal mitzvah. And this has been a tradition that's been going on ever since the very first Jewish home, which is Abraham, the very first Jewish father, and his wife Sarah. She lit candles every Friday night. As a matter of fact, she was the one that, in the merit of our mother Sarah, not only did her candles that she lit Friday night never extinguished, but the bread that she baked was always perfect. And there was a cloud hovering over her tent because of her. Because she's not just an integral part of the family unit, she is the foundation of the family unit. And this is why a bat mitzvah is so important. Because when a young girl becomes a woman, she becomes an adult. We are looking at a young lady now. We're not just seeing her, but we're seeing all future generations. And she has so many matriarchs preceded her that has shown her the way. The very first four mothers, Sarah, Rivka, Rachel, and Leah. And then throughout history, Moses' wife, Moses' mother. And we go through the great women of history, Moses' sister Miriam, the prophetess. We know there's the judges that were women, the prophetess Devorah Hanaviah, the prophetess, Queen Esther, Samuel's mother Hannah. There are so many great matriarchs that are mentioned in the Bible, that are leaders and giants that paved the way for Judaism. Jacob's wife Rachel is the only matriarch that is not buried together with the rest in the city of Hebron, but she's rather buried separately in Bethlehem. And she requested to be buried there because she said that she will cry and pray for her children until salvation will come. She will not cease from crying for her children to this very day. And she didn't want to be away from where her children are. So she was buried on the main roadway so that as her children are passing through on the way to Jerusalem, they could stop by and cry with her. Till this very day, the gravesite of our mother Rachel is a stop that everyone stops at to pray, because Rachel prays for us and we pray with her. This is the great value of a Jewish woman. It is so important that when God gives us the gift of a daughter, to realize and to appreciate, to value who they are, and to really cherish them and educate them, give them every opportunity to study Torah, give them every opportunity to study about their heritage, to be a Jewish woman, give them every opportunity to emulate the matriarchs of history. The Jewish women dress modesty, they talk modesty, they act in a modest way, and their focus in life is more refined because they know that they carried the torch of Judaism from one generation to the next. So when a girl is 11 years old, we begin talking to her about preparing a Bat Mitzvah ceremony. The ceremony is secondary to the actual moment that she turns 12 years old. And we should not get carried away by the parties, by the reception, by the DJ, by the gifts, by all the fanfare, because that is truly secondary and that's a passing event. What's most importantly is for the young girl to know that she is becoming a lady on her 12th birthday. She is becoming an adult who's now going to be responsible for all of her actions and should be credited for everything that she does well. And when we give her this energy, we are empowering her to grow up to be a matriarch in her own way. At her bat mitzvah, after she has studied and prepared and learned enough of Judaism to learn what is the responsibility of a Jewish girl, what is the responsibility of a Jewish young lady, how should she act between teenage life until she moves out of the home and moves on in life. Those are very critical years, but it all starts at her bat mitzvah. So I cannot encourage you enough to enroll your daughters in a Jewish day school. Give them as much of Judaism as you can. As a great educator once said, when we give our children the maximum of education, we'll be lucky that at the end they were left with the minimum knowledge. But if we give them the minimum level of education, what can we actually expect down the road? So we only have our children temporarily in our grasp, in our hands, before they grow up. We need to value those moments and really do whatever we can to give them a solid, good Jewish education so they can grow up to be a very proud pillar of the family, of the Jewish world, and be a matriarch to future generations. We need to always visualize on a day of a milestone when your child becomes an adult to realize that she is a link in a chain that goes back 3,300 years. The day of her bat mitzvah is the day that you can decide, are you going to weld her link into that chain that connects the past and the future with the present? And this is our responsibility. So really appreciate your daughter. Really appreciate her soul and realize that God has gifted her a greater soul at a greater spiritual level than the boys and the guys. This is why we honor them, we respect them, and we revere them, and realize that this is what was spoken in the Torah that says everything that she tells you, you do, because God is connected with the Jewish woman in a very special way. And when we are blessed that God has given us our soulmate, that God has allowed us to embrace a wife, a woman in our life, so that together we can create children. And you created this beautiful daughter. Realize that that is a gift from God, that God is entrusting you, that we will do good and right for our daughter. Once the daughter has spent a year studying, preparing a wonderful bat mitzvah speech, and she truly demonstrates her commitment to Judaism, her commitment to her heritage, then the party begins. And the party begins with celebrating her milestone, but not as a passing event, but an event that she should remember forever. When you talk to your daughter at their bat mitzvah, you will talk to the heart. You will impart with them that you are passing the torch on from one generation to the next. And that is what a bat mitzvah is. Now, the concept of bat mitzvah is relatively a new concept of the recent century. It wasn't really celebrated the way we do it now, the way it used to be. So if you did not have a bat mitzvah, it is never too late. You can always have a bat mitzvah celebration. Because many people don't know this, that when you turn 12 years old, you already became a bat mitzvah. You already became a daughter that's responsible in the mitzvah. But a celebration you can have any time in your life. Over the 40 years that I have been rabbi, I have done a bat mitzvah for many grown adults, for some 50-year-olds, 60-year-olds, and even 80-year-olds. It is never too late to have a bat mitzvah, to study and prepare. You look up when your Hebrew birthday was, and you see what Torah portion was read in temple that week. And you take that, or any Torah portion, and you study it, and you prepare a speech about it, and you relate to it, how it connects with you to your life. It's a great moment. If you have not had a bat mitzvah yet, you can still do it. It is never too late. But one of the greatest gifts is lighting the candles Friday night. If you have not started this when you were 3 years old, you definitely want to start it at your bat mitzvah. Every Friday, before it gets dark, on the table, to set up 2 candles, say a blessing. You'll look at those flames. You'll see your soul as it's flickering up to heaven, full of color and warmth. And then you close your eyes and you meditate to God. It's your special moment with God every Friday afternoon. You keep your eyes closed and you think of all the needs, wants that you need from God, that you want God to offer you. You think about people who need prayers, blessings. That's your moment with God. That's your own personal, private audience with God, is when you're lighting those Shabbat candles. When you started at 12 years old, it will carry you the rest of your life. You'll have a moment with God alone. When you finish your prayer, you say Shabbat Shalom. You'll have a peace, a serenity of relaxation, of knowing that you have done the right thing for yourself and for God. Congratulations on the Bat Mitzvah. Now you know what a Bat Mitzvah is. Value it, cherish it, and grow from it. God bless you. God loves you.